is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, some tricky stuff going on in the world, and there's no real explanation for it. It seems like things are being turned upside down for no particular reason, and it's causing anxiety and sometimes animosity among people all over the world. In America, we have our heroes and icons, and we see people from the diaspora coming here, getting roles in movies and plays, playing characters that we typically think of as Black Americans. But it's not just happening here. It's happening in other places too. Now, we all remember the Shakespearean play from high school, Romeo and Juliet. This play was set in Europe, in Verona, Italy. It tells the story of a young couple from rival families in medieval Verona, Italy, and the inevitable ecstasy and doom of their whirlwind romance. Romeo Montague falls in love with Juliet Capulet, who is supposed to be marrying a man of her father's choosing. But that's not who she fell in love with. She fell in love with Romeo, the son of the Montague family, whom her father can't stand. Due to their family's ongoing conflict, they cannot be together, so they kill themselves because they cannot cope with being separated from one another. That's the plot of Romeo and Juliet. Now, what's the problem here? Well, the problem is that this was a young white couple in love, and their families couldn't stand each other. So naturally, they fell in love with each other just because their families didn't like each other, maybe. But that's the way it works sometimes. But this was a young white couple. So now there seems to be a trend to go back and change everything around. So this is what they're doing now. Meet the new Romeo and Juliet. Do you see anything different here than what we've been seeing historically? What we read about in 9th or 10th grade literature? Do you see anything different? Well, the people in London do. Romeo and Juliet play starring Tom Holland and Francesca Emmanuel Rivers, I guess that's right, faces barrage of racial abuse, producer says. This must stop. The Jamie Lloyd Company has hit back after its production of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet has been the subject of what they call a barrage of deplorable racial abuse aimed at an unnamed cast member. The play, directed by Jamie Floyd, stars Spider-Man No Way Home star Tom Holland as Romeo and Francesca Rivers as Juliet. On Friday, the Jamie Lloyd Company issued a statement saying, following the announcement of our Romeo and Juliet cast, there has been a barrage of deplorable racial abuse online directed at a member of our company. This must stop. We are working with a remarkable group of artists. We insist that they are free to create work without facing online harassment. We will continue to support and protect everyone in our company at all costs. Any abuse will not be tolerated and will be reported. Bullying and harassment have no place online, in our industry, or in our wider communities. Our rehearsal room is full of joy, compassion, and kindness. We celebrate the extraordinary talent of our incredible collaborators. The Romeo and Juliet community will continue to rehearse with generosity and love and focus on the creation of our production. Well, it sounds like they're going to shove this down people's throats whether they want it or not. Romeo and Juliet is due to play at London's Duke of York's Theatre May 23rd through August 3rd. The run is already sold out. In 2021, a landmark survey titled Race Between the Lines. The survey was about actors, and I'm assuming they're talking about black actors, about their experience of race and racism in Britain's audition and casting process and on set. They found that 64% of the ones responding said they experienced racist stereotyping in auditions, and 55% of them said they experienced racist behavior in the workplace. And nobody's surprised by that. In March of this year, two proposed blackout London West End performances of Jeremy O. Harris's Slave play came under fire from UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's office. And what this is that they have this play about slavery, slave play, whatever that is. It can't be good, but it's some kind of slavery reenactment, and they wanted to have these two performances where it would only be black people. No white people could come on those two nights, and white people naturally had a fit because they probably weren't even going to go see the play until somebody said, you can't come, this is only for black people for these two nights, and they had a fit. You know, they're never going to let us get over it, but when we say something about it, it's a problem. But they want to keep regurgitating it and shoving it down people's throats. But as far as Romeo and Juliet is concerned, I don't have a problem with Juliet being white and Romeo being white. I don't understand why they're doing that. They know how territorial people are about their culture. And this is their culture. So they're in the same way that we don't want somebody that's not a black American to play Martin Luther King or Harriet Tubman. Well, then they don't want somebody to play Juliet or Romeo that's not white. Now they wouldn't have a problem with the person being white. I don't believe that the British would have a problem if that white person was from Russia or France or Germany, as long as she's white. But we kind of get into the ethnicity of the thing. But they want a white actress to play Juliet in that play. Now my question, what say you? Do you think they're right or do you think they're wrong? They need to open their minds and let anybody play the role. And as much as we complain about people playing our icons and our heroes, at least they are black. So we might gripe and complain, but with some of the African actors and the Caribbean actors, we say, okay, well, they're not black American, but they did a pretty good job because they are black. But if a white person played Martin Luther King or Harriet Tubman, we would have had a real meltdown. As much as people complain about Cynthia Erivo or Erivo, I'm not sure about her name, at least she's black. And at least she looks about like Harriet Tubman would have looked. So for all the fuss that was kicked up about her, imagine what it would have been if she was white. I think I understand how they feel, given how we feel over here in America, that we want to hold our little stuff close. So anyway, they want a white Juliet. What do you think about that? Let me know. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.